Hey disciples, and welcome to Everyday Hope.
Your daily inspiration from the Word of God.
And today we're talking about how old is God, and He is 5,053. See you guys. I'm kidding. That's not true at all. But it's a real question, and though it may sound silly to ask how old is God, it's probably one of the most debated questions in our time. You know, there's other ways to phrase it. Who made God? Where did He come from? And all those questions are based off of our very limited understanding as humans. Thank you for those of you who said bless you. I know you did. So, when we look at the Bible, how can we understand how old God is? Well, to understand how old God is, we have to stop looking at time as it is for us, or as it is on a scale, a beginning and an end, because that's not how it works for God. He lives outside of time. He's not limited in the ways we are limited. So, the first verse I want to open to is Revelations, my favorite, by the way, for this topic. Revelations 21:6. And it says, this is God's own words answering our question through His book. He said to me, "It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end." Plain and simple, right? So when we look at that verse, God says Himself that He is the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the end. Now, you might think, okay, that's pretty convincing stuff. What else is there? Well, in Exodus, back in the Old Testament, we have Moses' encounter with the burning bush where he asked God, who am I to say? Who are you? What are you? And God said to Moses, "I am who I am. This is what you are to say to the Israelites. I am has sent me to you." I am, as if He is all-encompassing. Next, let's jump to New Testament, just so we have a little bit of God everywhere. We can jump to the Gospels here. John 1:1. One book too far. There we go. So in John 1:1, we talked about this the other day. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. So God is the start of all things. Now, I'll read you guys one more just for fun, because God knows that we're hard of hearing, hard of understanding. So He puts things in the Bible several times for us, because we're stubborn. Excuse me? Especially the men. So Matthew 24:35. And Matthew 24:35 says, "Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away." Another sense of the eternal God we serve. So, though we want to put God in this little box of saying, well, He has to have a beginning and an end because that's how it is for us, that's not how it is. God is eternal, and He's always existed. And to think that something had to create Him is blasphemy, because if something created God, then God Himself would not be God. Whatever created Him would be. God is the essence of all things. And so that's how we have to look at it. A way I've heard it phrased that I liked is, look at it like a book. Let's say it's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, right? To those characters, if C.S. Lewis existed, he'd have to exist within that book. But that's not the case. He's the author. Think of everything in this world, this universe, as a book. God's the author. He lives outside of all of that. He lives within it. He controls it all. But He also lives outside of it as an eternal presence. So don't limit God in His age and what made Him by our understanding of the way our particular world works. Because we understand very little. I know we want to think we have it all figured out, with a Hubble Space Telescope and looking at other galaxies and determining how long this rock's been there. And we stop looking at science and we start taking hypothesis as being full and correct because it's what makes sense to us. And that's such a limiting thing to do to yourself, is to only believe truth based off what you yourself can understand. You're limiting yourself. And when I trust my life, I don't trust it to man. I trust it to God. because I know that no man on earth can hold a candle to God's intelligence and supremacy. So that's what I want us to focus on. So was God created? No. God's always been, and he always will be. Everything came from God, all of creation. He doesn't live by age, because he's always been, and he always will be. There's no time limitation on God. There's no limitation on his power, or his presence, or his holiness. He is everything. And that's how we have to look at it. Pure perfection, and that is the God we serve. And that is one of the many reasons why he is worthy of our praise and admiration. You enjoy listening to me?
Yeah, you did great.
Well, as always, you guys, thanks for listening. Please like, comment, share. We're always up for any suggestions you guys may have. And as always, never lose hope.
You don't know what tomorrow may bring.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. Game day.
Woo!